You have heard the rumors. The EPA is coming for your engine. They want to ban lead. They want to save the environment. They want to electrify everything. And you have wondered, is it true? Will they really ground my Cessna? Will they really force me to buy an electric airplane? The answer is worse than you think. The EPA is not just talking about a ban. They are implementing a mandate. A quiet, slow, bureaucratic mandate that will make it impossible to fuel your private plane. Not in 10 years, not in 5. Starting now, and most owners have no idea what is coming. Let me start with a story. A friend of mine owns a 1980 Piper Saratoga. It is a beautiful airplane, 6 seats, retractable gear, constant speed propeller. He uses it to fly his family from Chicago to Florida every winter. He loves that airplane. Last month, he went to his local FBO to fill up. The pump was locked. He asked the line guy what was happening. The line guy said they were out of 100 LL. They had been waiting for a delivery for 3 weeks. The distributor said they were having trouble sourcing the additive that makes avgas leaded, the additive that the EPA is phasing out. My friend drove to another airport. Same story. He drove to a third airport. They had fuel, but it was $9 a gallon. $9. He filled up. He paid $450 for 50 gallons. He flew home. He started researching. He found out that the EPA has been quietly restricting the production of tetraethyl lead, the additive that has been in avgas since the 1920s. Without it, 100 LL is just 100 octane unleaded. And 100 octane unleaded does not work in his Saratoga. The engine knocks, the valves burn, the cylinders crack. His airplane is not broken, but the fuel system is, and the fuel system is the EPA. Here is the truth. The EPA is not banning your airplane. They are banning the fuel that powers it. And without the fuel, your airplane is a glider, a heavy, expensive, useless glider. The plan is called the Lead Elimination from Avgas Rule. It has been in the works for over a decade. The EPA has finally set a timeline. By 2030, the production of leaded avgas will be illegal. That is 4 years from now. But the effects are already being felt. Refineries are shutting down the production lines. Distributors are reducing their inventories. FBOs are raising prices. The supply is shrinking. The price is rising. And the quality is becoming inconsistent. I have heard stories of pilots who bought fuel from a small airport and had their engines fail because the fuel was stale, because it had been sitting in a tank for months, because the truck did not come, because the distributor went out of business. That is the mandate, not a law that says you cannot fly, a reality that says you cannot fuel. Let me pause here. I want you to think about your own fuel supply. Where do you buy your avgas? How much does it cost? How reliable is the supply? Have you ever shown up to find the pump dry? Go to the comments. Tell me your story. Because the problem is not coming. It is here. And it is getting worse every month. Now let me talk about the electric mandate. The EPA is not forcing you to buy an electric airplane. Not yet. But the FAA is. Not directly. Through regulation, through noise, through emissions, through infrastructure. The FAA has announced a goal of net zero emissions by 2050. That is 24 years from now. For general aviation, that means electric, or hydrogen, or hybrid. But not gas, not leaded gas, not even unleaded gas. The writing is on the wall. The manufacturers are reading it. Textron has invested millions in electric aircraft. Diamond has the DA40 electric. Pipistrel has the Velis Electro. Even Cirrus is working on a hybrid. The gas engines are not being improved. They are being abandoned. The parts are not being made. The mechanics are not being trained. The fuel is being phased out. The mandate is not a law. It is a death by 1,000 cuts. And the cuts are coming faster now. Let me give you a specific example. The The FAA has announced that by 2028, all new aircraft certified for flight training must meet certain noise and emission standards. Standards that no current piston engine can meet. That means the Cessna 172, the Piper Archer, the Diamond DA-40. None of them can be certified after 2028. Not as new airplanes, not as trainers. The flight schools will have to buy electric, or they will have to buy used. But used airplanes are getting older, and parts are getting scarce, and fuel is getting expensive. The flight schools are caught in a vice, and the private owners are caught with them. Because when the flight schools stop flying gas airplanes, the maintenance shops will stop supporting them. The parts suppliers will stop stocking them. The mechanics will stop training on them. The entire ecosystem will collapse. Not because of one law, because of hundreds of small decisions, each one pushing the gas airplane closer to extinction. Let me pause again. I want you to think about the flight school at your local airport. What do they fly? Cessnas? Pipers? How old are those airplanes? How long will they keep flying them? Go to the comments. Tell me. Because the flight schools are the canaries in the coal mine. When they stop buying gas airplanes, the market dies. And they will stop. They have to. The regulations will force them. The economics will force them. Electric trainers cost less to operate. $50 an hour for electricity instead of $150 an hour for avgas. The maintenance is cheaper. No oil changes, no spark plugs, no cylinders, no valves. The engine has one moving part. The flight schools are doing the math. They are switching. Not because they love the environment, because they love money. And the money says electric. That is the mandate, the market, not the government, the market. Now let me talk about the exceptions. The airplanes that will survive, the turbines, the Pilatus PC-12, the Daher TBM, the Beechcraft King Air. They burn Jet A. Jet A is not going away. The airlines use it. The military uses it. The cargo carriers use it. The infrastructure is massive. The supply is stable. The price is high but predictable. The turbines will survive. They will thrive. They will be the only option for pilots who need to go fast and far. But they cost millions. They are not for you, not for me, not for the average pilot. The light sports, the Aeropract Foxbat, the Pipistrel Virus, the RANS S21. They burn premium autogas. Autogas is everywhere. The price is high but stable. The engines are simple. The airframes are modern. The maintenance is cheap. The light sports will survive. They will grow. They will become the new trainers, the new weekend flyers, the new entry point for pilots. But they are small. They are slow. They are not for the pilot who needs to carry 4 people and baggage. They are not for the pilot who needs to fly in weather. They are for the pilot who flies for fun. That is a shrinking demographic. The experimentals, the Vans RV series, the RANs, the Kit Fox, they can be fitted with automotive engines, with diesel engines, with electric motors. The experimentals are flexible. They are adaptable. They will survive because their owners are willing to experiment, to adapt, to spend the money to keep flying. The experimentals are the future of general aviation, not because they are better, because they are not bound by the same regulations. They can use autogas, they can use diesel, they can use electricity. The certified fleet cannot. The certified fleet is locked into 100 LL, and 100 LL is dying. Let me give you a timeline. 2026. The last shipments of 100 LL are produced. Refineries begin shutting down the lead additive lines. Prices spike to $10 a gallon. FBOs start limiting hours. Some close their avgas pumps permanently. 2027. The FAA announces that no new piston aircraft will be certified after this year. The last Cessna 172 rolls off the line. The last Piper Archer. The last Diamond DA-40. After this, if you want a new airplane, you buy electric. 2028. The first wave of flight schools announce they are retiring their gas fleets. They sell them to private owners. The market is flooded with used Cessnas. Prices collapse. A 2015 Cessna 172 that was worth $300,000 in 2023 is now worth $80,000. 2029. The EPA finalizes the lead ban. 100 LL is illegal to produce. The remaining supply is sold at auction. Prices hit $20 a gallon. Only the wealthy can afford to fly. The rest park their airplanes. 2030. The electric mandate is in full effect. New airports are built with charging stations, not fuel pumps. Old airports remove their avgas tanks. The infrastructure for gas airplanes is gone. The remaining gas airplanes are museum pieces. They fly once a year at air shows. They are not transportation. They are nostalgia. Let me pause again. I want you to think about that timeline. It is not speculation. It is the consensus of industry analysts. The ones who are not trying to sell you something. The ones who are looking at the regulations and doing the math. The math says the gas airplane has less than 5 years of practical life left. Not because the airplanes are bad, because the fuel is going away, because the infrastructure is going away, because the mechanics are going away, because the market is going away. The gas airplane is not being banned, it is being abandoned. Here's my advice. If you own a gas airplane, you have 3 options. Option 1, sell it now. While there are still buyers, while the fuel is still available, while the value is still something, the value is dropping. It will continue to drop. Sell now, take the loss, move on. Option 2, convert it to run on unleaded fuel. The conversion is not cheap, it is not simple, it is not guaranteed, but it is possible. New fuel hoses, new fuel tanks, new engine seals, new valves, new spark plugs. The cost could be $10,000, or $20,000, or $30,000. But if you love the airplane, if you plan to keep it for years, if you are willing to spend the money, the conversion is the path. Option 3, keep flying it until you cannot. Burn 100 LL while it is available. Do the ADs, pay the insurance, find the mechanics. And when the fuel runs out, when the parts dry up, when the costs become insane, park it. Walk away. Remember the good times. That is not a failure. That is a choice. A choice to enjoy the remaining years. A choice to accept the end. I am not telling you which option to choose. That is personal. That depends on your budget, your attachment, your mission, your age, your health, your family. But I am telling you that you have to choose. Doing nothing is a choice. It is the choice to let circumstances decide, to let the market decide, to let the regulators decide. That is a valid choice. But it is a choice. Own it. Now let me talk about the electric airplanes, the ones that will replace your Cessna. The Pipistrel Velis Electro. It is a 2-seat trainer. It flies for 50 minutes on a charge. That is not enough for cross-country. That is not enough for most missions. But it is a start. The Diamond DA-40 Electric. It will have a range of 2 hours, maybe 3. That is enough for local flights, for training, for short hops, but not for the trip from Chicago to Florida. Not for the trip from California to Texas. The batteries are not there yet. They will be in 10 years, in 15, but not now. If you need to fly cross-country today, you need gas or turbine, or you need to wait. The hybrid options, the Ampere, the Volt Aero. These are airplanes that use a gas engine to charge batteries. They have the range of a gas airplane, the efficiency of an electric, the complexity of both. They are expensive, they are experimental, they are not certified, but they are coming. In 5 years, in 10, the manufacturers are investing, the regulators are approving, the market is demanding. The hybrid is the bridge from gas to electric. It will take time, it will take money, it will take patience, but it is coming. Let me pause one more time. I want you to think about your own future. Will you fly electric? Will you fly hybrid? Will you switch to light sport? Will you buy a turbine? Will you quit flying altogether? Go to the comments. Tell me. Because the decision is coming, not in 10 years. In the next 2 or 3. The fuel is going away. The infrastructure is going away. The support is going away. You will have to adapt. Or you will have to stop. There is no third option, not for the gas airplane. The gas airplane is dying. The EPA did not kill it. The market is killing it. The regulators are killing it. The manufacturers are killing it. The pilots are killing it. Not because we want to, because the world has changed. The future is electric, and the future is coming faster than you think. Here is my final thought. The EPA just killed your private plane. Not with a bang, with a whimper, with a regulation you have never heard of, with a fuel additive you cannot pronounce, with a timeline that seems far away but is actually right now. The electric mandate is not a law. It is a reality. The gas airplane is not banned. It is obsolete. The difference is subtle, but the outcome is the same. Your Cessna will be worthless. Your Piper will be a museum piece. Your Beechcraft will be a memory. Not because they are bad, because the world has moved on. The only question is what you do about it. Sell now, convert, or hold on until the end. Those are your choices. Choose wisely. The clock is ticking. The pumps are drying. The future is electric, and it does not care about your nostalgia. It cares about progress. Progress is coming, ready or not. I want to hear from you. Have you felt the fuel shortage? Have you paid $10 a gallon? Have you driven to 3 airports just to fill up? Have you thought about selling? Tell me in the comments. Share your stories. The more we share, the less power the fear has. And if you are an electric pilot, tell me about that too. Tell me about the future. Because the future is here, and it is quiet, it is clean, it is efficient. It is not your father's Cessna, but it flies, and flying is flying. No matter what powers the prop, the sky is still there. The sky is waiting. The only question is what you fly into it. Gas or electric. The choice is yours. But the clock is ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The mandate is coming. Ready or not.